going on, guys? It's Steve. Oh boy, oh boy. First of all, before we even start this video, to take up your negative video, I'm feeling very happy today. It's beautiful outside. I released my song yesterday, the music video. If you didn't see it, the link will be in the description below. Go show it some love. For everyone that went over there and showed it love yesterday when it came out, I appreciate that. I was not expecting the amount of positive comments. I was expecting a lot of negative ones, and but I'm so happy that you guys liked it. That means the world to me, so I appreciate that. So again, if you didn't watch it, please go check it out. It'll be in the description below, and I'll also leave it in the comment section. I'll pin it. The link will be right there. Click it, watch it, do what you need to do, share it with everyone you know. That's besides the point. Here, oh boy, oh boy. James Harden and the Houston Rockets gonna come up there and embarrass me like that. I'm not gonna sit here and say I am 100% embarrassed, but I will sit here and say that I was not expecting that, okay? Especially with the start that OKC had. OKC started up the game extremely hot, okay? But they wound up losing by 10 points, which is obviously not good whatsoever. But I'll sit here and I'll tell you this right now. Paul George. What happened? I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm not blaming anyone. But whenever we match up against someone huge, Paul George either decides to show up or he either decides to take the day off. He's not like Russ and Melo, who come to work every day, and especially in big games, he'll show up. Both of them will show up. Paul George's like, I don't feel like showing up today. But you're having a good season, so I ain't gonna knock you for it. You had a bad game. Stuff happens. But I'll sit here and I'll tell you this right now. Carmelo Anthony is number 20, I believe, on the NBA, or 19 or 20 on the NBA's all-time scoring list. By the time this season ends, he needs 400 more points to be like number 16. And then it'll take him like a year or two to get all the way up to number 10. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You know what I'm saying? But look, I was so wrong about the Houston Rockets. Now, I know it's one game, but, this isn't the first game I've seen them, like, humiliate one of the league's premier teams. I mean, I know OKC is 7th, and you're like, how are they premier? They're a premier team. They have 3 marquee superstars on that team, or marquee names, I shall say, because only... Let me stop. But James Harden, man, you are something special. You deserve MVP without a doubt. Last night, actually watching, that was the first Rocky game that I actually watched in a whole last night, and seeing the dominance of Chris Paul, of James Harden, the balance, the flow, the ability to turn up the tempo, turn it up, slow it down, the shooting ability, the passing ability, and then the unselfishness from their role players. I mean, Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, and OKC had, what's his name, Corey Brewer come, but I mean, just look, man, Houston, look at this. Trevor Ariza had 15 points. PJ Tucker had 10 points. Clint Capella had 10 points. James Harden had 23, 5, 11, 4, and 1. Chris Paul had 25, 4, 5, and 3. Eric Gordon had 14. Luke Mbawumute had 11. Gerald Green had 6. My man Nene had 8. And Ryan Anderson didn't even play. So this team, man, is something special. And, yeah, I guess it took me actually watching them, like, a full game and not just highlights. Because I've seen... like parts of games, like I'll watch like the first half and I'm like, okay, I'm bored. They're blowing this team out. I'm bored. But to see them play against a really tough team where it was nitty and gritty, and OKC was up for actually like at least half the game, they were up for actually the end of the Houston. OKC went up by like 10 to 15 in the first quarter, and Houston came back before the quarter even ended, before the first quarter even ended, and they took the lead. But I mean, it was one of those games where we're gonna sit back and like, wow, that was a really good game. But again, man, like, especially defensively right now, OKC, they're missing Andre Robertson. I mean, the bum can't even hit a free throw, but defensively, we're missing Andre Robertson. And adding Corey Brewer is good, but we need Andre Robertson as well to give us more depth, because I don't think, I'm not gonna say I don't think we can compete. I don't think OKC. And I gotta stop saying we because I'm a Knicks fan. I don't think OKC is gonna be able to really lock in defensively like Golden State can, or like Houston sometimes can. Sometimes. because they just need that Andre Robertson because Melo needs to be down low. When Melo's on the perimeter, I'm sorry, I love my man Melo to death, but he gets eaten alive. And when Paul George is down low, he gets eaten alive. So Paul George, Russell Westbrook need to stay on the perimeter defensively, which is obvious. And Steven Adams, Carmelo, Jeremy Grant, Andre Robertson down low, and actually Andre Robertson can do both. A little bit of both. Guard those wing and versatile players. But last night was a good game. I was not expecting Houston. Yeah, I don't know, something. It was like an eye opener. I mean, that's 16 straight wins for this team, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's all right. I've seen a 27-game win streak by the greatest player of all time on the greatest team of all time, the Miami Heat, with LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh in 2012, 2013. I'll sit there and tell you that right now. Some of the best players in NBA history. But Houston's 50-13. They're number one in the Western Conference. Golden State is number two. So, do I think Houston can beat Golden State in a best of 7? I'm not too sure. And to be honest, if you're an OKC fan, there's really nothing to be nervous about. It was one game. You lost one game. It's not a big deal. We beat... I keep saying we because I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they beat, the Golden State Warriors. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, and not just by like 5 points. Like, they blew them out. Okay, so for us to lose by 10... Here I go again with the us, we. For OKC to lose by 10 against, Houston, that's all right. It's one game. You guys are going to bounce back. OKC's going to be OKC. Paul George isn't going to disappear like that all the time. He's only going to disappear like that sometimes. Paul George, you need to show up. When the playoffs come, in the second round, when OKC plays Houston or Golden State, you need to show up. Because if you don't show up, we're losing. If Melo don't show up, y'all losing. If Russ don't show up, y'all losing. So why is it fair that Russ and Carmelo show up in big games every single time, but you show up half the time? Come on, PG. I'm becoming a fan of you. I actually like how he's a good guy. Like, I sounded really... Let me not. He's a good guy, though. Like, I've seen him off the court and hanging out, and he's chill. He's humble. It's easy to say, oh, if I had all that money, it'd be humble. But once you get the type of money that these dudes are making, man, you know what I'm saying? Just put this into perspective for a second. Just put this into perspective for a second. We're talking about NBA superstars, like your Melos, your Russes, your LeBrons, your Stephs, like your KDs, like your high 120 to $200 million contract players. Just put this into perspective. If someone makes $1 million a year, after taxes, that's like $700K, right? Just put this into perspective. All right, so we're gonna do 700,000 divided by 12. So that's $58,000 a month. So let's say you live in a big ass mansion on the beach, whatever, and your mortgage is, let's say, $10,000 a month. So now you have $48,000 a month. Let's say you have like 3 or 4 cars, another $10,000 a month. All right, so that's $38,000 a month. Now let's say you got bills. Let's say $5,000. All right, so that's $33,000 a month. So now you're gonna sit there and be like, okay, I have $33,000 a month. Everything's paid. I can do whatever the hell I want with that. You can travel. You can do whatever the hell you want. Now, picture $58,000 a month versus someone like LeBron or Carmelo or KD or Steph. Come on, who are making that a day, man. Like, that is, oh my goodness. 58,000 times 365 is $21 million. Can you imagine? And Steph is making more. This dude is making like $100K a day. So just think about, if you have $38,000 a month, if you're making $1 million a year, after the first calculations we did, all your stuff is paid off, your big ass mansion on the beach, your cars, or whatever, and you still have $33,000 a month. And let's say you spend $5,000 on living, so that's $28,000 a month just for savings. Right? So $28,000 times 12, that's $336,000 a year. You're just saving. It's just like, oh, just saving there. I mean, damn, man. Imagine 10 years from now. Like, you do that for 10 years, 336 times 10. You'd have $3.3 million in the bank, and you could retire for the rest of your life. These dudes are making $50,000 to $60,000 a day, man. That's crazy. And you wonder why rappers want to hang out with athletes. You wonder why basketball is becoming mainstream. God damn, man. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Like, I don't think people realize how much, like, LeBron's, Melo's, KD's, Steph's, James Harden's, and Chris Paul's, and, you know, like, those top paid players are being paid. Because, let me stop, man. It's been your man, Steve. Look, James Harden, the Houston Rockets. I was not expecting that. You guys are nice. Please check out my song. Link is in the description below. I'm out. Peace.